This video is only for 10 to 15 people. Okay. So if I get 15 views of people listen to the entire thing, I'm successful. With this plan is successful. Okay. So I wanted to share two things in this video. Number one is my recent understanding about sales calls, like what exactly I realized after last 35 sales calls that I've taken. What did I find out from there? What helped me close 10 deals from the 35? uh, and what am I about to work on? So I think that thing can be something that you can focus on, and that will really help you immensely. Okay, it's immense value in that realization. uh a second thing I want to focus on is like SMMA is not for SMMA. How do I look at SMMA? The team stuff, like, can you do it yourself or not? And second, I will probably forget it. Okay, really do forget it. The number one is, I already forgot the number one. Okay, sales system realization. Second is SMMA for team or solo, and funds needed for SMMA. Okay, these are the things that I'm going to be focusing on. It's going to be uncut video. Okay. And also, like, this is not something alpha and sigma stuff. I don't really care about that. This is just a t-shirt that I have, an extra, and that's why I wore it. Uh, so first, sales system realization. One thing I realized is in sales, you can sell as many as you want, as much ticket size as you want, if there's 2 to 3 things that you can take care of. 3 things, let's say. Okay, the first one is understanding personality and psychology. So every person that comes into the sales calls, how they are coming in plays a big role. If that's from cold calling, it's a different scenario. If it's from cold DMs, emails, it's a different scenario. If they've spoken with someone else, then they're coming into the sales calls, that's a different scenario, versus they spoke with you personally and then they're coming on the sales calls, different scenario. They're coming from a referral, a different scenario. I haven't not got referrals so far, so forget about that part. But I know that's a different scenario. They're coming in from Facebook ads. That's a different mindset that they're looking at. Okay. So uh, what I mean by that is, like, when you are in the sales calls, first of all, step one, instead of you going through a system that you have designed for your own benefit, the best calls, like the last 5 calls that I've had, 4 of them are interested to move forward. And one I messed up because I had like too much carbs and I was like, I had a brain fog. I could not communicate properly. So I did not, the discovery phase was not as effective. So I lost that deal. I mean, I knew that it's not something that I want anyways. So out of the last 5, I got 4 of them interested. And Saturday, I'm going to onboard one of them. Another ghosted us, but still, uh, we're still on top of, that deal. So not going to be, it's just a follow-up game. But before that, it was not like that before. Previously, it was like, if I say 5 more, if I speak with 10 guys, 5 of them are interested, kinda. 3 of them are really interested. 2 of them moves ahead with us, right? 2 to 3 of them used to onboard, used to move forward, and we used to close the deal. But recently, what changes did I make was, instead of me focusing on how I structured the call, I focused on what type of person they are, and then how to structure the call according to their situation. So, for example, 2 examples. There was a woman who was very skeptical that she did not even turn on the camera. And there was another guy who was so skeptical that he really told on the cold call that, I'm not gonna invest something. I'm not here for investments. I don't want to buy leads and stuff like that. So that was a very big challenge that I have been burned before. I have had experience in the past. And he seemed like someone who is really cold, is not going to open up, is going to be judging you. And he seemed that way, to be honest. When he um turned on his camera, I looked at him, it felt like he's judging you. Now it's on me to prove to him it's worth his time. So the way I start the call in that scenario is by restructuring immediately. Sorry. By restructuring immediately, instead of going the way I wanted, that's like, hey, let's dive into discovery. I would like to ask you some questions and understand what exactly this looks like, or even like the usual stuff that, even like if you want to use Jeremy Miner's system, that so you are looking for adding this and that, right? That's why you are here, right? I really felt that that is not something that I should be starting with, especially in the cold call scenarios, because they have already spoken and they have given you some objections earlier, which you overcame, and then you brought them here. So now you really need to dive deep on that reason that they gave you already. So the way I started that call was because he was identify the biggest challenge that you are going to be facing on the call, and then say that to them and give that to them and give them a chance to not have this call in such a way that you disqualify yourself. So, or not even disqualify yourself, it's more like put that out, like instead of that being in the back of your mind and their mind as well, pull that out, and then the way you start building rapport is by that, if that makes sense. So sorry. So if it's like, this guy is not going to open up, and you know that this is going to be a challenge. If he doesn't open up, there's no proper discovery. If he doesn't open up, there's not much that you can do. You cannot just show up, throw up, and then expect that something's going to happen out of it. That will be like you depending on luck. But if you see like this person is not someone who is possibly going to open up, study them. If they have content, look at that, look at the images, how they present themselves, you will have an understanding. So the way I did that was, uh, as soon as he turned on the camera, I was like, oh, by the way, I can't see you. And he was like, hey, yeah, just let me turn on the camera. Turn on the camera. I was like, I no matter what I say, he's not gonna open up, because he was looking at me like that. So what did I do? I immediately forgot everything else, and I told him, like, I'm really bad at small talk. You know, Freddie, I'm really bad at small talk, and I really am someone who only likes to talk about business and getting to the point. But how do you, like, you seem, he's like 20 years older than me, right? 25 years older than me. I was like, I mean, it seems like you have figured that out. How do you like, how do you build rapport with people you're meeting for the first time? How do you, connect with someone for the first time on a phone call? How do you do that? This is the first time we are speaking. I'm really bad at that. Give me some suggestions. And then he was like, no, I mean, I just try to talk. I don't do much of a small talk either. I just try to get to the point and, say it. Okay. Restate. Oh, so you're more like, you're similar to me then. You just want to talk about, okay, point A here and point B there. That's what I want to go. And is this is this conversation aligning with that? Is that how you usually deal with people, even with strangers? Okay, so you don't feel the need of strangers being needed to be warmed up to you, or you're like, I don't care about anything else, or what type of person are you? And then he was like, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, he just spoke about himself. And one thing is like, building rapport. Everyone says, I have been told always, like all the videos I've watched previously last 3 years, even when I used to train on the B2C affiliate marketing company, or the, what would you say, digital product selling, right? I was told that build rapport. But rapport building is more about how to make them comfortable, right? The only way to make them comfortable, if they are absolutely, there's two ways to make them comfortable. One is if they're absolutely, you see that there's no way I can make it work. Tell them that. I don't think that I will be able to make you comfortable in this call, but how do you make someone comfortable on the first time that you are speaking with them? I mean, you have more experience than me. Structure it such a way that it's about them, and people never get bored of talking about that. That's what I used. And then he opened up like a, I don't have a metaphor, but that call went for 45 minutes. Okay. And by the end, he was like, yes, he came in with no money. Like, I'm not going to spend any money. But then he was like open to spending $30 a day on Facebook ads for 6 weeks and 497 or 397 as setup fee. He was open for that. And he wanted to move ahead immediately. I told him no right now because we have compliance stuff to take care of. So and then we'll be moving forward. But see, like that's how it happened. And that is the first step that I took care of. So once I realized this, that's, put everything that is the deal breaker about them and ask the biggest hurdle to them instead of you having to figure it out yourself. So if I used to sit there, if I would have sat there and said, what can I ask him that will make him open up? It would not work. Never. Because it's him that can is that he's the only person who can give answer to that. And then also for the next remaining of the calls, you need ammo for to work with. So you need to know what type of person am I dealing with. Is this someone who likes to only talk about surface? Is this someone who usually likes to talk about details? I think you can use this in any scenario, anyone, and they would give you something about them. And then you have to not just listen to what they say, but look at what they mean by that, and then catch up on about, from that you can catch uh, what exactly type of person they are, and then build on top of it the system that you have for those type of people, right? And then you can actually say that, now this thing is gone, and then the next thing what I brought is like, because he mentioned that I'm not open to paying about anything, then I was like, I mean, see, business is an investment game, right? So we invest something and we get a return on investment. You mentioned just called him out right away. The second thing, called him out. You mentioned that you are not open to investing a single dollar into something like this. You don't want to buy leads, right? Did you mean like you really don't want to invest in growing your business at all, or did you actually mean, because sometimes when people say this, they usually mean that, I have already my focus on something else and that's working for me, and I don't want to prioritize something like this because I don't know if it's going to work for me. Is that what you meant or something? Can you give me some clarity about that? Call that out and get some clarity about that, right? Because that is a very big challenge that you're going to face at the end if you by any chance go there. And at that stage, try to disqualify him because he said that. Because now he showed up on the call. If someone shows up, I think so, because I really think so. Because if someone shows up on the call, that means they somewhere felt in the conversation that this is valuable to them. Somewhere. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense for them to show up on a call just because to see who is this on the other side. It doesn't make sense. Business owners are busy. If so, I book a call, I forget. Most of the times I forget. And I'm not that of a, I don't have a big business like them already. I have like 5 6 team members. I'm doing sales side and acquisitions and practice and training and making food for myself, basic stuff, right? I don't have anything specific. I mean, the fuck is this? So even I forget when I book a meeting for 3 days later. I forget, and even sometimes I get a response like, hey, I'm waiting for this call. See you in 20 minutes or something like that. I'm like, okay, I don't need this. If I don't need this, I'll just write or just ignore or cancel. But sometimes when I'm like, I'm not sure if I need it enough, but then I see the last message that, hey, I'm preparing for this call, and someone gives me that notification. I'm like, I don't have much to do anyways right now. Let me just go and see because I don't have to perform in this call. He has to perform. I have to just listen to him and see what is it about. Maybe this is something that I can, take value from moving forward. That's how I go into the call. So there is some point of the reasoning where the prospect is like, I think I might need this, but not right now. The urgency is not there, but the need is there somewhere. So now the prospect will show up. If they show up, then there is already a need there. Now you have to find the need and bring it out and build the gap and make the gap so big. I'm working on that gap right now. I'm not able to build the gap so far yet. I'm working on that. So, that way, if you really do that, then there is no reason he's not going to be like, you know what, this is something that I can do right now. Right. And that depends. The next thing comes in the discovery phase. So, two things. Number one, understand the personality. Whatever you feel like is going to be a challenge opening them up. But if they're not open, then you lost. If they opened up, then the next thing is like, have you played the game well enough, the discovery well enough? But the step one is opening them up. If they're not open, you lost. So how to open them up? Not how can I understand about the needs? How can I find the urgency? How can I make the gap bigger? How can I close the deal? No, that's the last step. The first step is I realized this now, that the first step is always, how can I open him up, open her up? How can I make her comfortable in this call in the shortest time possible? And the only two ways is, number one, call out, right? Call out whatever they mentioned. If they look like someone who's like an open person, call out what they mentioned. If they look like someone who is a closed person, ask them for suggestions. How would you open up in a random conversation? If they still don't open up, like, oh no, I'm just nothing, just like this. You must do something, right? Because if someone comes to the first time and you are, let's say, like, I'm having this conversation with you and you are having a conversation similar to this with someone who wants to get a roof replacement, or something about their end customer, how do you usually make them comfortable? Because otherwise we can't discuss stuff if they're not comfortable. Now you don't make sure that you don't say it in such a way that it's like, how can I make it comfortable so that I can sell you? No, it's like, don't mention how do you usually open someone up in sales calls, but make sure you say it in such a way that, how do you usually, when you speak with someone, anyone for the first time, how do you usually, yeah, maybe not business related, but personal life. Talk about personal life. How do you make them comfortable? How do you make them open up? Or how do you how do you actually, how do you start the conversation with a stranger for the first time? Any tips that you can share with me? I'm really bad. Always play the dumb person. In the sales call, be the dumb person. It's totally fine. Because you don't know much about them anyways. And also you're not expert. If you would have been, you would not be watching this video, right? So neither am I an expert, neither you are expert. So ask questions. I learned this when I was 15 years old, a book called Who Will Cry When You Die, Robin Sharma. And it's one chapter was like, always ask. If you want something, ask. So if you want help, ask to them. I think it's very simple, right? If you're like, can I ask help from you? I mean, how do you usually like to be, if you're talking to a stranger, how do you like to be talked to? Any preference that you have, or what type of person are you? Help me understand. Ask. And secondly, as I said, right, once you go through that, then you can point out the biggest thing that they have focused on in the conversation that you have had before the sales call. That, hey, do you remember the conversation that we had? If it's a chat, they mentioned about this. They ask anything after the offer. They will ask anything. They'll be like, how much does it cost? Send me an email, or maybe like, call me a month later. So if it's like, how much does it cost? On the call, or when we had the conversation, you mentioned that how much does it cost? I mean, is cost something that you really focus on while making business decisions, or is it like the priority, or would it be fair to say that you're more focused on the return on investment, and if that is making sense to that discussion, what does that look like for you? I mean, what would you prioritize? If it's like, send me an email, you told me like, send me an email. I mean, it sounds like it's not something that you're ideally prioritizing right now. So what did you mean by that? I mean, why did you say that, send me an email? Because is it like you're gonna be looking at other vendors like this and then having a discussion with your team, and then you can come up with an informed decision? Or is it like, just let us keep in the back pocket, and then whenever we need, we can see something like that? Call that out. If you'll be amazed that if you call that out, then people will be like, oh, no, 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 they'll be justifying yourself and justifying you. and you will already have the upper hand in the conversation, I feel like. And the third thing, let's say they're like, uh, what? Call me a month later. And then next month, a month later, you call them and book the meeting, and now they're in the sales call. Say, I mean, the first time we called, you said, call me a month later. I mean, what exactly was there at that time, which now did not have? What change happened in this 1 month that made you feel like, you know what, now is actually the right time to have this conversation? Now you will really have some really good conversation. It's not a stale question. This question really has a depth. And then now you can say, after they have opened up to you, now you've gained their trust, they're comfortable sharing, they have shared with you, you have listened to them, restate. Now, this is something you have really focused on, the thing that matters to them the most. Now they can focus on what matters to you the most. Then that's when you can say, okay, cool. So now what I'll do is, like, in the next few minutes, I'll ask a few questions about yourself, right? So that I can get some more understanding about your situation right now. And, uh, you know, then I can, really show you in depth what I have based on whatever you share with me, so that it really makes sense for you in the shortest time possible. And we can both save time and get to a really informed decision, if that makes sense. Would that help you? No one would say no. And then you take care of the discovery process. Now, discovery is like a lot of deals, not much, but very specific things. If you can really get that, I'm working on that, the discovery phase. Once the discovery phase is over, uh, mapping that discovery to the demo is very easy. But just doing the demo without knowing what exactly the context is, very difficult. But once you do the demo based on what they have shared, it feels like, the last call I had, she was like, it really feels like a new thing to me. It really feels like what I exactly want. Of course, no shit. Of course, because you told me all the points that you need, that is important to you. And now I have, whatever I have focused on only those things that matters the most to her, and added everything else as a bonus. And that's when she feels like, oh, this is for me. It's actually, it will work for everyone, but they have to feel that it will work for them. And then the closing part is something that I'm working on. I have to work on. I'm really bad at the closing part. I know that. So someone texted me like, hey, just tell the price and stop. I will. Trust me, I know. But I'm working on other stuff, not focusing on that. I want to take like 200 sales calls in the next 2 to 3 months. Before the end of this year, I want to be selling $1,500 upfront and to 30 people, right? So I want to make like 50K, 60K before the end of the year. Let's see how that works. Because my goal is 1 million in 12 months. And I saw that to make that amount, I need to sell $250,000 in total before January ends. So probably maybe even like, I can sell 2,997 upfront for 3 or 4 months uh, as a package, right? And I can sell $3,000 to maybe 20 people. That's like 60, 30 people, 100,000. I'm not sure. We'll see, right? But I need to work on the discovery first. If I can work on the discovery first, then mapping that with a demo is not going to be a problem. And then all I have to do is like the closing part. In the discovery, I can really remove objections. And if I can really take that permission from them to take it as long as possible, because I saw the last 5 calls, it's really game changer. The last 5 calls are the improvements that I saw. And I saw that this discovery, I can take it 25 minutes as well. They're not giving any objections after I start that like that. So you can really try this. Second, let's go to the second one. SMMA is a teamwork or solo. Anything is fine. It depends on you. I could not do it solo as well as I am able to do it myself. Solo is going to be a big challenge in terms of breaking your limiting beliefs and the funds that is needed. That is the third part, right? So we'll go through that. If you do it solo, then you really need to do a lot of dials, become the cold caller or the appointment setter, immediately change to becoming a salesperson, immediately changed to becoming the onboarding guy, immediately changed to becoming the media buyer, immediately changed to operations, immediately changed to customer service. You have 6 people in one. Very inefficient. I have not seen, I know people who can do it. I can't. I would not like to. I'd rather make less money than work all by myself. It's a lonely process. You get demotivated. You feel like the numbers will add up. It'll logically make sense. Oh, if I have like 10 clients paying me 500 only, I'll make 2,500. I don't have to pay it to anyone else. But bro, you'll not be able to get 5 clients because there will be days when you are feeling low and then you will need someone else to push you that day. If you don't push yourself, then you'll go behind 7 days. It takes 3 more days to get back from there. Stand again. And when you go again and stand, and then you regret the last 3 days, that's a guilt trip. If you don't overthink, then you lose on technicalities. You lose the numbers, the reps, the skills is not going to be developed. So to improve the skill, you really need to overthink. But when you overthink not just about the skills, you overthink about the actions, what you did not do, and then you feel guilty. That's a trap. You'll always be there. And I have seen that no one talks about this, but this is my personal experience. I've tried this for a long time. I did this for a long time. And it took me about 11 months to break my limiting beliefs to pick up the phone and do the first dial. The video is breaking for some reason. I think we are going, it's a long video. I need to wrap it up. Let me just wrap it up, okay? Or is it okay? Is it fine? Is it fine? Thank you for watching this video. If you're watching this video, even me doing these things, thank you. Appreciate it. I hope you find some value. Let's continue. So it took me a long time to first, pick up the first, pick up the phone and dial the first number. It took me 11 months. I was really scared about cold calling. I was really scared, really scared. And that too, after 11 months, I could not do it myself. I actually had to find 2 people I really care, trust, and they care about me, and we have mutual interest. Jan, me, and Frederick. Jan and Frederick, shout out them. And I connected with them on January 2023. I started SMMA for the first time. I thought about doing it on 2022 December. And then January, I thought, you know what? I actually booked meeting. The first day of outreach, I booked 2 meetings using Facebook DMs. And the next day, I had a sales call show up, like one person showed up. The moment he showed up, I was like panicked. I was like, I can't do this. I don't know how to do it. And my mind was like consuming me. And so I was like, no, I can't do it. I don't have it in me. That person versus this person is day-night difference. And then I, went in and built that connection with Frederick and all over the world, all over the Europe, other SMMA guys built the community for the first time. I built that community and it's still there. And 5 members of the community are making like 15K a month or something like that now. But they all started like, scratch with me from Germany, Serbia, Denmark, US, Iraq. And I was the only person from here, India. I made that group and there was like 20, 25 members from Iceland, Finland. Yeah, mostly Europe. So that's how I really started to open myself up to the global audience. And then I spoke with more and more people. I saw other people fail, succeed, put some actions, had accountability, signed some clients. I still was afraid. And that's when I slowly, gathered the courage by the end of the year that, you know what, it's going to end. This year is going to end. I still haven't done the first dial. I really need to do. I always try to, avoid cold calling and do Facebook DMs. I try to do like 500 DMs, 200 DMs, 300 DMs. Never works. It might work, but the thing is that you are not improving. If you're not leveling up, you're not going to win. Now, if I do DMs or emails or cold calling or content, everything will work because I will work. Does it make sense? If it makes sense, right? But I was not, I was trying to use DM as a escape mechanism so that I don't have to do cold calls. And that's why it did not work. Right. And finally, 11th of December, 2023, I picked up the phone. All three of us, me, Ian, and Frederick. So you have to have like other people. If you're like doing it for the first time, you have anxiety. You really need to have other people with you on one single call. And then you have to, you know, do the dance. Because that way you have support. Even if you fail, the others will like, Jan and Frederick was like, oh, that's okay. That's okay. Oh, Leon was there as well. Leon was from UK. So he was like, all three of them was like, oh, no, it's okay. Keep going, keep going, keep going. 5 pickups each, let's say. No one is gonna make anything, but just we overcome the fear of cold calling. The first week just did that, right? $20 a day, $20 a day, $15 a day, $30 a day. That's how we overcame that. So if you do it all by yourself, you'll not have that. And if you don't have that, it's not gonna be possible. I don't care about what anyone says. It's not gonna be possible. I have not seen anyone do it all by themselves, sitting in one room and not connecting with anyone, not having any external support to build the limiting beliefs, break the limiting beliefs, and build the momentum. You have to build the momentum. External law of inertia, right? So you need external push for an object to be in motion. You need external push. If there's no external push, you cannot build an internal push. It has to be external. And so you can't do it all by yourself. At least you need an accountability, external accountability. If you have team members, you can start with 2 to 3 members. Uh, two friends starting together, 3 friends starting together. Amazing. Start, and then maybe once you gain all the skills, then you can separate your ways. Maybe, who knows? But otherwise, accountability groups, join coaching groups, and stuff like that. Or else, yeah, just these are the 2 options. The best option is like, what I had is like have accountability plus partnerships as well. So inside our team, we have 5 members. So it's always good for me. It's easy for me to look forward to it because I have accountability. Because if I don't work, if I don't improve, if I don't close the deals, no one gets paid. The guys, the 16, 17-year-old guys who trusted me don't get paid. Jan doesn't get paid. Manish doesn't get paid. So I have to work. So that's my self accountability. Comes from there. That's why I have team, and I love the team. Like you have no idea how fun the journey becomes once you have a team. If you have a team, then you're working for others and they're working for you. It really makes all the difference. It's like, let me see. Yeah, okay. It's like I love the journey. Like even if I don't make enough money, I still love the journey because I can see other people winning every day because of my efforts. So it has an impact, and it feels fulfilling to see I'm able to build character of 2 young individuals. When I was their age, no one was there to help me, but I am there to help them right now, and I can save 6 years of their life. And the best thing is like, I can work so that others can benefit from this, and that way my benefit is not, I don't have to think about that, right? So I will anyway benefit from this. It's like fulfilling when you have a team. Secondly, when you have accountability partners with around yourself, you see like I know people who is making $7,000 a month, $25,000 a month, $15,000 a month. I have in my WhatsApp right now, right? I have so many people making like 10, 15, 7, 12. That's my network right now. So I know that it's not impossible. I know it's possible. We already make like 5, $7,000. Some months we hit 5,000. Some months it's like 2,000 only. But it's like so many things coming up, and I know other people doing it. And now since I'm in the sales, it's gonna be 10x. It's gonna be 10x. Initially, I was not in sales. I used to give sales calls to other people, and I used to take over the back end management and stuff like that. I thought that I have to take the responsibility. Once I took it, things like the momentum is like amazing, right? And also, I'm leveling up myself. So that's also like you start yourself. You cannot. I had Jan to push me. Like Jan literally pushed me. I could not have built this team that we have without Jan. If Jan was not there, Jan and Frederick and Leon, I was not gonna be making one single dial. Without them, not possible. Did that because of them. After that, Frederick started his own. I'm going to be bringing Frederick someday very soon to introduce to you guys in this audience. Frederick is, I'm really, this guy is like really a positive mindset, right? I really wanted to introduce you guys to him to you guys. So Frederick started his own venture, and then Leon took a job because he doesn't want. He's very young. It's like he was 18 then, so he wanted to do this himself, learn skills, and then start. That makes sense. Jan and me, we stuck to it, right? 2023 October, and then from there. So this year, and there was a time when Jan was like, you really need to get a team. I was like, no, we're not ready. He was like so sure that you can teach them, you can train them, like you really can do it. I was like, I'm not sure, man. That is the limiting belief, and he pushed me, and I broke that belief. And then we have the team, and we booked 120 meetings in 60 days, 50 days, 120. This scale was never. I did not even believe that this was possible. But then we had this. But then I was giving the sales course to Manish, who is not into sales, right? So we lost a lot of deals there. I know it, my fault. But I was afraid of sales calls. I took 4 sales calls early in January, uh, December, maybe December, January, Jan Feb. But I was afraid, right? Then I was like, okay. Then Jan again was like, you should do it. I know you can do it. There's no reason. Like he really, I really remember me taking the walk, this road behind this block. I was taking this walk, 30-minute conversation with Jan. Jan is like, you really should be taking the sales call. I have no doubt, bro. Like I have zero doubt about this. You really need to take the sales calls because you can do it. And that's when I broke the limiting belief. You know what? I am gonna sit for the first sales call. Like I will take it. Let's see. To the first two sales calls I took after a long time. This was the first time I'm taking B2B international sales calls in English. First time. Earlier, I used to do only in. No, I'm sorry. I did, but not with business people. I used to sell like softwares and stuff like that here and there, digital products inside India, in Europe, US with younger people, but not with actual business owners. So this was a real big challenge for me. I had like insecurities. I still have. I'm overcoming that. But and even now, Jan pushes me, right? So then he was like, "You really need to do it." First two calls was like bad. It went bad. I had no idea what happened there. The second guy was like, he really shouted at me, right? And then I changed immediately. I changed. Okay, these things. The one that I shared with you. I saw that these are like backfiring, big backfires. How can I remove this? I took them to the front of the sales calls and then started to, address that. Once I did that, immediately next 5 calls, we booked two of them. I've already uploaded one of the videos, one more I'm about to upload. Two of them, close to in 5 calls, both on board in that Friday. The call was on Friday. Wednesday, I had all the 5 calls, 7 meetings booked, 5 show-ups, and 2 closed, right, in one day, Wednesday. And then we had the onboarding on Friday and Saturday. And that's where I unlocked my second and biggest, the mindset limiting beliefs. If I was all by myself, could not have done it. So solo or with a team, logically go solo. Never gonna work out. Hardly gonna work out. I'm not sure. I don't know anyone who have made it without any help in the shortest time possible. I don't know anyone I have met. I don't know them. Possibly there will be people, but I have not seen them. So for me, logically, it makes sense more all by yourself. But actually, realistically, I'm not a big fan of realistic expectations, but this is what happens. Go with a team. Start with at least someone else to push you. Third thing, cost in SMMA so far. It is not for broke people. I was able to do it because I first took some time off and made some money on the side, use that money to reinvest. Right now, on a monthly basis, we have expenses of over $1,000, $1,200 expense. That includes Go High Level, the phone call charges, the SMS charges. Uh, of course, we have a team, so giving them the funds as well. But Go High Level charges will be 297 at least. SMS charges and stuff like that, you need to have $100 there. If you're doing it all by yourself internally, you have a team, just let's say two of you guys, SMS or something. $100 there, 297 there. You need to have a solid Wi-Fi. That's also an investment. You need to have a really good setup, at least like a basic tripod, at least like good quality camera. Phone back camera is good enough. Get a proper lighting. Have a good laptop. If your laptop is not good enough, I invested on a 8 GB RAM as well last month. So these are like small investments. Apart from that, let me think. Apart from that, lead sourcing. You really need. We invested like 10,000 rupees from Jan, February, March, April. Every month, that was like 10,000 rupees invested on gathering those leads. That's $125 a month. You can do it manually, save some money, but we did not want to save money. We wanted to save time. Uh, that's one thing. But apart from that, let me think. Yeah, Zoom subscription. You can't have that notification saying that, hey, meeting is about to end in 10 minutes. Very unprofessional. That has to be there. So yeah, these are the pretty much like every month you need to have these expenses. The biggest expense is like 297 on Go High Level. So we had to take care of that. So if you're like, it's the biggest expense. If you're like, no, bro, I'm really broke. I want to make even like 5 clients paying me 1,000, or even like 5 clients paying me $500. I want to make $2,500 a month, but I can't invest even 100 rupees. Nah, not for you. There's no judgment in there, but you're not ready yet. So you need to make some money or save some, at least like $200, $300. Save $300 to $400. I would say really $300 to $400. If you're just by yourself, $300 is a really good number. Maybe you can have a trial of Go High Level, but don't start the trial yet. Once you figure out the cold calling, outreach, and booking meeting and closing, use that funds to take the high level and then immediately learn skills fast. That's that way you can do. Yeah. So yeah, that's what happens. So expenses, yes, are there solo or team wise. Best is team, and the sales I already shared with you. So yeah, I'll just take your leave. Thanks for watching so far. If you really want to be a part of the community that we have, I'm looking for, yes, I am actually looking for, I have no shame in admitting this. I am really genuinely looking for people who have a long-term vision and who wants to build a business. They're business minded, they have the dedication, the determination, and they're mostly solo. They need accountability. Then do have do be a part of my community, right? Comment down below. I'll be able to share more details about how to be a part of that. It really is going to comprise. It also gives me more people to talk to and build a more network. I'm looking forward to build a long network, a big network in the next 5 years, 10 years time. So really a long-term vision. So I am always open to networking. I want to connect with people, and my team, Nikhil, Nikti, and people who are going to be cold calling, who are cold calling, are improving. I want them to improve their skill as well in terms of getting them exposed to other training environments. So they know more than you. If you have not booked 100 meetings, they both combined have booked like 120 meetings. Doesn't matter what the age is like, they know more about you, more than you, right? Not more about you. They know more than you about this stuff, right? So I want them to come in and train you guys as well, so that they can get exposed to other, psychology and how you guys think and what are the problems that you guys face and problem solving and those things. I want them to get exposed to that, and that's the reason I'm building the community. And it's not a free community, but it's not a paid either. That's an interesting fact, right? Here's the first thing. Uh, do let me know what do you want to, if you want to be a part of it, and if you're really like, if you really genuinely have watched this far, and if you really want to connect, if you like the way I build things, then I think you will find value in it. And it's only for those people, not for more people. It's maximum going to be for 50 people anyways at any point of time. So yeah, write down in the comment section, and I'll see you soon. I'll keep uploading more and more videos. Okay. Cheers.